welcome to Creepy Studio. Please subscribe and hit like.
Hunting season, at least once a year. I try to travel up to Maine and rent an Airbnb to go hunting. I never bought my own place because I can't really afford it just for a single trip every year. So doing a weekend rental makes more sense for me. Plus, I'm not exactly an expert. I'm still trying to get more experience some years. I'd go with my uncle, but in recent years, he hasn't been in the best shape health-wise. He's not really up to it anymore. So I've been going alone more recently last year, which was 2022 at the time. I'm writing this was the last season that I went hunting. It was November. The Airbnb I rented was near a national park. I arrived late on a Friday because I had to come home from work, get ready, then head out on the road trip. When I pulled up into the long stretch of private dirt road to get to the cabin, type Airbnb, it was pitch black outside, and it was dead silent too. This time of year, there's obviously no bugs or crickets left, so the nights are dead silent and dark up there, especially if the place you're staying is secluded like this one. I pulled up as close as I could to the cabin, and the owner told me the key would be hidden under the mat. Sure enough, it was there. I brought my 2 bags inside the cabin and unpacked my things onto the bed in the 1 bedroom. It was a very cozy cabin, and the owner already had the heat turned up for me, which was nice. Maine gets pretty cold up there in November. There was cable and Wi-Fi in this Airbnb, so I set an alarm to get an early start at dawn, which in my opinion is the best time to find deer or even moose. If you're lucky, the next morning I was up as soon as my alarm went off, and I was out in the woods in less than half an hour. Since this was foreign territory to me, I posted up behind a blowdown. I found some knocked over trees. Usually this would now be a waiting game, but I heard a man's voice call from behind me. I had a mini heart attack and turned around to see some men with gray hair, but who looked like he was only 50. He was approaching me slowly. He said slowly, in a very angry-sounding voice, "What the hell are you doing here?" I responded. "Excuse me," he said. "Hunting is restricted here." I actually was unaware of this when I explained this to him. He said, "I watched you right up here. You best leave the way you came." This scared me. I said, "What do you mean?" "You watched me right up here," he told me. "He always sees people riding up to that cabin, always out of town. Folk who come up here for the wrong reasons." I apologized to him and told him I'd leave. I grabbed my things and started walking back the way I came, and when I looked behind me, the man was gone out of sight. I walked back to the cabin, then took my car and drove to a different park that, according to some website, allowed hunting. I posted up there and